So my name's Brooke. I have 3 daughters, Marley's 7, Hazel's 3 and Everly is 2. And last year when Everly was 4 months old, she had her first seizure. And in June of 2021, she was diagnosed with a rare catastrophic form of epilepsy known as Dravet syndrome.
I am Catherine and I have 2 children called Kane and Seb. In Kane's first few years of life, there were lots of challenges, and it wasn't until a week out from his 3rd birthday that he was diagnosed with autism.
Last year when Everly was 4 months old, she had her first seizure. She's been in and out of hospital non-stop, and it's had a massive, massive impact on our family. There wasn't a lot of support there. There wasn't a lot of guidance. I did a lot of research, and when you research Dravet syndrome online, nothing positive at all comes up. So it was a very fearful, dark, uncertain time in our life.
When Kane was diagnosed with autism, we struggled. In getting that answer, we were able to source help. We were able to find people who understood autism, who could teach us. We found services for him that could help him and help us to understand him better. Seb was born prematurely at 37 weeks. He had a lot of challenges when he was born and went straight into NICU. Slept all of the time, and we took him home and it just got harder and harder. A year old, he had an MRI to look for where the brain incident had happened. What they found in that MRI was that he had a condition called Chiari malformation. That pain would go on for weeks for him. We took him in and out of emergency, and we'd be told that he just had a headache. But what 2-year-old has a headache?
In a day now, we could have multiple specialist appointments like physiotherapy, occupational therapy. We see our GP and our paediatrician a lot. Before, I knew nothing about medical complexities, but Everly requires anti-epileptic medication every 12 hours. I need to monitor her through a seizure monitor at night to pick up any nocturnal seizures, and I have to watch her 24/7. So Everly's condition has impacted her siblings, Marley and Hazel, significantly. Hazel was only 16 months old when Everly had her first seizure, so she doesn't really know any different, and she's so excited every time she sees the hospital or an ambulance, and she's always trying to help people and thinks that they're sick. Marley, on the other hand, was 5 when Everly had her first seizure, and unfortunately she's had to grow up far too quickly. She will open the door for me in an emergency. She will clear a pathway for the paramedics to be able to get to Everly. She will rush around and get what I need or take on a motherly role when I can't. And that kind of pressure on a 5-year-old, it shows. It shows.
Our day-to-day is just survival. It is fighting all the time from one fight to the next. At the start of this year, we realised that our life is missing fun. We don't go out, we don't do things as a family or as a couple, because everything is about just getting the kids through every day. And we needed something else. So I started doing a bit of a Google search to find what that might be, and I came across Brainwave. I sent a message through and I received a message back from Leanne saying, "What can we do for you?"
Being introduced to Brainwave was a magical moment. It was to know that they support the siblings and the family as well, because the siblings is what I was so worried about, Marley and Hazel. All my focus is going to Everly, and organisations like this with Mindfulness Mondays so that they can talk to other children who understand, days out to the zoo or Christmas trips or to the Luna Park, and they're things that I never could have imagined in our day-to-day.
In the next message, we were invited to the zoo with other Brainwave families, and so we went and we had a really good time. And we're glad that we went. What we discovered was missing was connections with other people. We don't get to talk to other families. We don't get to see that there are parts of our life that are normal to other people. It's just so comforting to see that we're going through the same thing.
Thank you for colouring my house. I think organisations like Brainwave are so important for families like mine, because Everly's supported massively. She's got NDIS funding, she's got therapists, she's got specialists, she's got me. She's got family that help. But when it comes to having a child with a disability or a neurological difference, there's no support for me or for my other daughters or for the people who support me, people who support the carer. There's nothing like that I've found, and to come across Brainwave and know that their main focus is actually the families, not so much the child living with the condition, that was so appealing to me because my girls were struggling, I was struggling tremendously, and to have someone that wanted to support us while we supported her, it's really, really special.
It's those connections, it's meeting other families, it's those conversations with other people that just get it. It breaks up the hard.
Hello, I'm Paul Bird, CEO of Brainwave. With 10 children that are diagnosed with neurological conditions every day in Australia, there are 3,000 families a year whose lives are turned upside down. Usually the mother goes to be the 24/7 carer and they lose a breadwinner. They face a navigation of a really complex health and NDIS system. They become socially isolated and lose their friends and their networks, and they're exhausted and frustrated with the world that they see now. After 27 years, and started by a parent with a child with a brain tumour, Brainwave is the only organisation that supports these children and their families. We want to help them build the hope and resilience and strength that they'll need through their journey. We do this through information and advice right from diagnosis and support in the hospital, and a range of family activities that help build up the strength, hope and resilience that these families need.